This is BECKTON99 back with another rec gameplay video. I decided to capture this game because this is like my most complete performance that I've had so far since the game has come out. I'm on my 6'10" small forward. I normally wouldn't make the small forward 6'11", but obviously 2K they reduced the height this year, so I went 6'10". I wasn't gonna make them, but I kind of got caught up in the some of the online battles with some of the content creators talking about the best KD build or whatever, and I knew that I already knew the recipe for the best KD build. It's very simple. You make him as tall as he can be as a small forward, and you max out the shooting stats. And whatever else you do after that, it doesn't matter. And you just go down the line, and so we start this match. It's completely random. I was going to tell you guys the secret, but I'm not going to tell you the other secret. But if you looked at my title card, you might understand why this guy is hard to guard besides just his shooting. So, guarding my man. I think at a certain point, I don't know if this guy ever quits the match. I played so much today, I'm not sure. Maybe he stays the whole time, I'm not sure. If he does stay the whole time, he's a brave soul. So, I'm doing my thing. I play man in the rec. Maybe these guys are just trying to figure out that we're not playing zone. But I always play man. So I run out the progression, okay, shot it, whatever. Also, too, I told you I don't play with my mic on or I don't talk to these people, so spacing is always like kind of a small issue because, we never pick sides or to stand or whatever, so sometimes you'll see me running around and I'm like, oh. But I overcome it with my gameplay. So they give me the ball, do a little dribbling. That right there, I'm not going to yell at those guys for that, but I didn't want that. I don't even know why they both did that. It's like, get out of my way. But we reset. Okay, the PG kicks it out to me. I try to shoot a leaner. It does me a stationary shot, but the game still allows me to make it, so that's good. Last year you couldn't make that shot when you didn't pull up. That shot I would always miss, but I think maybe they opened the sliders a little bit because I'm shooting better than I did week one. So the game's still pretty close right now, but as the video goes on, the score's gonna open up for sure. So I'm just covering my guy. My guy's a 6'10". I think I have like 82 perimeter, and then I think I can put it up one more to 83. And I'm trying to unlock all the takeovers for the 3 and D, because that would mean like if I put one of my cap breakers to make my perimeter D in 83. If I run the 3 and D, I'll be like a 91 perimeter as a 6'10" guard with an 88 block. So I make it rain is probably a better takeover because it makes me faster, but I was really interested in this idea that being this super tall lockdown or whatever. So I'm gonna run 3 and D on this guy. I also wanted to kind of run mini maestro just to have like in my mind unlimited mid-range stuff or fades or whatever, but I think the one difference will be between my build and everyone else's is just the idea that he's just a crazy tall lock with a 91 perimeter, and then you get marksman or whatever to help to shoot. But the one thing about this game is like takeover never really happens, but something that no one ever talks about is you don't even need takeover to shoot in this game. So barely, like in the other 2Ks you got takeover and then you could shoot, but in this game you can shoot without takeover. And I rarely ever in a game get takeover, and that's obviously I have it as one of the rep perks or whatever to unlock a faster takeover, but I don't know. But at this point it's like takeover doesn't even matter, you don't get it. And if you really want to unlock every level of your takeover, you pretty much have to go to the street courts, and that's kind of like a shady proposition, just because they play defense. The AI in this program so much that it's like playing. If you play 15 games in there, you could leave with a cold spot, you know. So it's like at your risk. It's like, do you want your takeover or not, you know? So and then playing this way, when people don't give you the ball or random wreck, is like you may never ever unlock your takeover. Like it might be like season 9, and you're like, I finally got my 2 takeovers. If you don't grind the street ball courts or whatever. So up until this point, I only have 8 points in the game. My team is obviously up by 4. So I'm doing what I normally do. I'm chasing my guy around. He's doing a little dip and dash. I leap at him. He gets the ball back. That pass that he got off shouldn't have gone off. And the other guy should have bobbled it. He threw that pass under pressure, but the game was like, it's a perfect pass. I do a little standing dunk there. So my team's starting to trust me a little bit. They're like, oh, who's this guy? Who's this BECKTON guy? So that was an okay foul. I have no complaints on that or whatever. I mean, he did what he had to do. Let's see if the guy can make the shots. So he makes it. Makes it again. Let's see if he gets the third one. Drum roll, please. He makes it. Damn, okay. Because I surely was leaking out. Get the ball. I go up again. If anything, I think this video is a testament to, you know, how overpowered slashing is, or whatever, or how easy it is, you know. Because if you make a guard build and you don't have any interior, this build, my Kevin Durant, or just tall ass dude build, I'll dunk on you. I'll go straight. I'll crash straight to the paint. My team will give me the ball. I'll dunk it on you. If you come to the outside, you try to play me high, I will run by you and I'll dunk on you. 96 driving dunk, or however high you want your driving dunk, that's stupid. Put it all in standing now, because if you're a guard build, there's no guard that can stop you from dunking, because they put stuff on steal and they want to dribble and all kinds of shit, and they don't have block or whatever. It's just like sort of a no-brainer. Now, this build that I'm on right here, if I was playing with a shooting center, and I don't know if this center can shoot, I'm not sure. But if I had a team and I had a shooting center and my center pulled the other center out of the paint and I'm playing small forward, and then my power forward is designed how I want him to be, he wouldn't even be there. And there'd be no one to stop me from getting to the rim. Now, do I want to score all the points? No. But I believe in getting easy buckets when you can, and I believe in exploiting a mismatch. So eventually they'd have to double, or they would just lose the game, because we can shoot threes, and every time we touch the ball, it'll be a guarantee too, if the center pulls the other center out of the paint, right? So sometimes I'll run on this build and I'll get an inside big, and so the paint is clogged. I have to fight him for, you know, possession time down there or whatever, but it doesn't matter because I can spread the floor. Let's see if I'm using Harrison Barnes post fade, and it's not working. I saw that I had an option for Luca, but I haven't gone to the my career court or whatever to practice that fade or whatever. But the best fade in the game is Kevin Huerter's fade. It's a little tricky to time it, but it's pretty dope. But you can only get it on smaller builds, like less than 6'10", I guess, or like I guess up to 6'9", maybe, or maybe even up to 6'8". I'm not sure what the exact cap off on that is, but I was like, sometimes I hate that in the game. It's just like this year, free throws are capped at a certain height. So as a tall build, I can't use Zach LaVine, and I'm like, why not? And Kevin Huerter's go-to shot is crazy. and I love to do it. Like obviously, I only do it against a computer, but like if I'm ever in game and a computer's guarding me, I will do that move and it'll go in. But I wish I could have that on this build because that would just make it hella saucy. But the go-to moves for the bigs are stupid, and they're hella like telegraphed, and there's no sauce in them. The best one is the Nikola Jokic one, and it doesn't even look great, but it's like the quickest one that you can get, and it kind of goes to the side. But I don't do that one. But I kind of if I could have the Kevin Herter on this guy, that would just look so crazy. So I get the ball. I thought I was gonna get the ball. I didn't get the ball. But you see, our lead is growing. I have 17 points by now, or right now. Periodically through the game, I'll bring up the title card or the score card or whatever, and you'll see like the points that my guy has, and you'll see if he ever becomes a AI. But currently, right now, he's a human. Okay, he goes for the Riri down the outlet. Cut to the corner. Try to shoot it. Let's see what happens. The game says I missed, and I don't feel anything about that. I just get back on defense. I don't. They changed it so that you can't flop automatically. Like you have to buy the flopping animation, and I've been really having this moral quandary with myself about whether or not I want to purchase it because if I did have it, I would just be flopping all over the place, you know? And so I'm like, all right, man, does it help me help the randoms when I flop, you know, or when I get pissed off at what they're doing, you know? And at a certain point today, I was like, I'm going to go to the fucking animation store and I'm going to buy the flop because these motherfuckers need to know when I protest what they're doing. But I forgot. I mean, I know now because I'm talking about it and I'm not sure what I'm going to do. But I do like the fact that they took it out of just being on the controller. You have to like ask for it because that gave me a little, moral quandary to be like, Kevin, what do you want? Does flopping, does that really help your frustration? Does it really, and not that that's not gonna make them play worse, but just the idea is like, do I really need to communicate with these people? You know? So I don't know. Tomorrow I might go to the store and be like, no, these motherfuckers need to see me flop because some of the stuff that they do is stupid and counterproductive. So, just playing defense on this play, whatever. I don't know. There's some miscommunication. My guy's got the ball, but he's a little scared of me. So he pump fakes and he's running out of time. I guess he passed it. I got him out on the break. They kicked me the ball. I see that I wasn't going to be able to beat him in a foot race, so I do a little hesitation, and I still get the stand-in dunk. There's a lot of inside bigs this year, and I don't see them do stand-in dunks a lot. They mostly use the real percentage cheese to do layups, and that's one of the things where I hate where they're like, this whole argument about shooting, it's like, we want realism in the game. And then it's like, okay, well, even if you can have low risk, high risk, all that kind of shit, we know right now that real player percentage on layups or close shots is broken. You can just do it and it'll go in. So no one's complaining about that, loudly enough, like they want, the way I see it, if you're playing in the rec, they want to be able to do that shit all year, but then they want realism on shooting, which is, insane. So I'm definitely using real player percentage on my layups and my close shots right now. But the idea is, I'm like, let's take that out of the game. It's so easy. It should be easy to make a layup that you don't need cheese on that, especially when the shot is virtually automatic because of the contest system. You can have 2 or 3 people down there and the game's like, nope, there's no contest. But as I said before, you have one person. That Harrison Barnes fade is selling me out. You have one person contesting you on the perimeter, and your character is acting like he lost his fucking mind. Like he's scared, he's flinching, he's falling over. But when you get a contest around the rim, they're fucking steel-eyed. They have immense levels of courage, and they don't falter their moves. They finish the animation, but on the perimeter, I don't have enough time to gather it, and then you fucking miss your shot. So I'm against that. But like I said in one of the previous videos, I don't want them to change shooting. Keep it like this, bro. I fucking shoot. I don't even get mad at the randoms for missing. I mean, I get mad in the sense where when I look at the shot profile and it's halftime and we only took like 10 threes or some shit like that, that pisses me off because I'm like, bro, fuck it. Just shoot the ball. Only if you're open though. Like there's caveats. Don't just shoot if the dude's standing next to you. But if you got a shot, take it, bro. I wanna on my ideal team, um, the uh the shot profile would be like 50. 53s taken by the end of the game. There's no need to even look at the rim, bro. Don't even look at it. Just shoot because you don't get cold. Well, you do get cold, but it takes some effort to get cold. I also have said in a previous video that I don't want them to change the shooting, but I do want them to get rid of cold spots because I like the idea of a hot spot and just a neutral spot. And the neutral spot should just be neutral. I should have a fair chance to make it. And if I have a hot zone there, I should have like a 1% extra chance to make it. But don't penalize me and say, "Oh, bro, you're cold in the corner," because what that turned out to be is, as a shooter, you got rid of badge regression, but now we have hotspot regression. You know, you play a couple games in the rec, you come out, you look at your hotspots, you're like, "Damn, I got a cold zone in the corner," and it's like, that's not my fault, bro. That's some RNG. That's whatever's going on. It's the heat of the game. Don't penalize me for shooting. So I don't agree with the cold spot component of this thing, and I don't agree with getting cold when you're shooting. I just want it to be neutral. It's like I'm neutral, bro. Like there's some nights obviously clay can get cold, but this is a game, and if they're putting the RNG into the game, how am I responsible for my cold zone and my hot zones when I don't even have a fair chance to make it all the time? So I just want it to be hot and then go to neutral. And then that way I can make up for myself and say, do I care about hot zones? No, I just have neutral zones, bro. Like I'm not gonna be checking that shit all year. Like, did I get a cold zone in the corner? So I think that's kind of like tedious for sure. So you see me, I don't even know where I am right now on the court. Oh, okay, I'm on defense. Just doing my thing. I got 28 points now. I mean, this isn't terribly exciting gameplay, but just watch the numbers I put up. And you got to commend the randoms for not getting jealous. Yeah. Towards the end of the game, they really start feeding the hot hand, and that's what you're supposed to do. I have on this build. I'll have a mismatch every time that I'm at power forward. I mean small forward. I'll have a mismatch every time that I'm playing the four. I am the best stretch you can have, and if the center on my team got out of the way, um, there's the other team would not be able to keep up with us. And if people passed when I was open underneath the rim all the time, like sometimes I'll play with point guards and it's like, bro, you fucking see me. I know you see me. And they don't pass the ball. So I have to clear out of the lane. And then what irks me is then they'll run into the lane to take a layup. And I'm like, bro, if we were going to take a two, I already had it. You know, you overlooked the open person on your team to run in and be selfish and score a basket when we already had it. And I'm like, bro, you can say, oh well, you're always crashing to the lane. And I'm like, no, bitch, I'm open. It's different. And in my view, the PG should never be crashing to the boards for a fucking layup. You should be shooting. You should be trying to shoot. I haven't run into a good PG this entire process of whatever NBA 2K25 is. Um, I haven't. I haven't even found. I haven't even had the inkling to fucking want to add a PG that I've seen, because they've all been trash. And I'm not a good PG. If I play PG, I'm really playing PG like a lock, and I don't really dribble at all. If you watch all these gameplays, I barely dribble, dude. I am just really elite at some people might call it fucking up spacing, but I call it I'm an off ball savant. Um, so I don't dribble. But even when I play PG, I don't like to play PG because I guess what I also say about my playstyle is that I'm like a PG wherever I am, but I'm a PG in the half court set. I don't want to be a PG in the full court set. I don't want to think about who got the ball last, whatever. I get open, and if I'm not open, I pass to the open person. So I'm like an extra PG on the court. But I don't want to have the responsibility of figuring out how many touches the center got or whatever. And I don't like doing that stuff. So whenever I'm PG, also too, it's like I'm in the random rec. And you don't want to be. I don't even know why people make PGs. Bless their hearts. Because if you're gonna play in the random rec as a PG, it's like you're never getting what you need to win. Especially my play style. Like I need a center that's not at the basket. I need people that can shoot. But so if I play point guard, I would rather play with the team, and I never really play with the team. And then if I'm on a team, you don't want me playing point guard. I would love to meet a dope ass point guard that could dribble and do some ISO or do some other shit or whatever. But I never have that. I would love a point guard that had dimer on something crazy, so I could maybe get some better animations. I never get the benefit of dope animations when I catch the ball. I never get I mean, at best I may be maybe I'm shooting off silver dimer, but it'd be a breath of fresh air to be like, woo, I got a Magic Johnson on my team and then that the ball comes to me fast every time. But I make do with with whatever's happening. I found ways to be elite, So right now, if you watched this far, you can see that I'm 33 points and counting. I think the guy that's still human that I'm guarding are supposed to be guarding me, but he can't. There's nothing he can do with my build. This is the best Kevin Durant build. If I get 1 like on this video, I'll share the build with you guys. But the one thing that I tell people is I wish that I guess around NBA 2K22 you could be 6'11" and get a 92 three ball. I think you could even be 7 foot and get a 92 three ball. They weren't really stingy with that. But capping the bigs at 86.3, it kind of hinders the variety. It was like if you try to make a KD build, every short-armed KD build, the max mid-range is 94, and the max three ball is 86. But if the three ball could go to 89 this year, that would be crazy. I mean, they should make it where it can go to 89, but the 89 should be hella expensive on a 6'11". Like it should scale up to where like nigga, if you go 89 on a 6'11", you can't really get no Duncan or something like that. And I would be willing to make that sacrifice for the idea that you could take your +1 and get gold limitless and you'd get sniper on a 6'11". That would be crazy. That would be, and I'm saying that it should be that way for centers too. A center should be able to have the 89, and it would just open up the floor, and it would get crazy because some people would still make inside bigs. Some people would say, "Man, I don't need the 89 three. I'll just take 86," and that way the 6'10s would have some variety. Because if you go to me, if you have long arms on your build, you're not a shooter. You don't really want to shoot. Because I mean, I wish you could have long arms and still keep the shooting or whatever, kind of like how they do dribbling. I used to do dribbling where your wingspan didn't matter, but that would make it. I guess what I'm trying to say is, oftentimes I wish there was a game mode where they were like, hey, you could guys go over here, and this is like a rec center, and you can have long arms, and you can have whatever the 94, 86 is for a short arm. You can have that with long arms. And I'd want to go in there and I'd want to play against people, and then I'd want to see for myself, how broken is that? Is that really broken? Can I stop them? If a big has, that type of shooting profile or those badges, is it really crazy? And maybe 5 minutes into that kind of scenario, I'd be like, yeah, that shit is crazy. I'm glad they don't allow us to do that. But since I haven't had that experience, I'm always like, I don't know, man. Like, how much more insane would the game be if you had a 7 foot guy with a 17 or a 7'10" wingspan, and he had a 94 86? Would that be too crazy? Would we not be able to contest him or whatever? So I don't, I'll never know the truth of that or whatever. But in my mind, at least, I think that 89-3, based on this constructed system, a center having an 89-3, with the sort of the penalty of getting an 89-3, kind of like, I guess what I'm trying to say, I'll explain it another way. You know how, like, if you go to the builder and you're 6'5", you'll get less attributes than a 6'3". So they already have a scaling thing. So what I'm saying is that they could put it in the algorithm or the build that if you are, over 6'9", if you want an 89-3, it should take hella attributes to the point where you don't have other ones, right? You still be competent, but so I'm just saying that I'm not afraid of having a 6'11" or a 7'1" that could shoot from gold limitless, because I just believe that would make the game more diverse, because you'd have a big who would be like, I only need an 83 three ball, and then you'd have a big who's like, I just want 86, and then you'd have the guy who really wants to be a tall ass sharp, and he'd say, bro, give me that 89 because I want to see what the gold limitless is like. And the +1 badges by 2K is probably like one of the most ingenious, sinister ideas they ever did, because now it's like you're renting your badges. And if you're really quote unquote dedicated, I was gonna say comp. I like comp, but no one's gonna take the word comp from me. If you're really comp, you're like, fuck, this is a new season. I guess I gotta pay them the whatever it costs to skip all the levels, because I need my red badge back. I don't want to play without my red badge. So that's kind of like, beforehand I was like, I'm not buying the pro pass or doing level skips, but now it's like, damn, okay, the season, if I have to go through it naturally, how long is it going to take me to get to level 30? How many games am I going to drop in between? Because, and, it brings up the ideas like, are you good or is it your badge? But it's like, I don't believe in that debate either way, because it's not about you're restricted without the badge. The game knows that you don't have the badge. You can try to shoot from deep, and the game will say, Rich, you don't have limitless. Doesn't matter about your timing. They say, yeah, you could make it, but it's impossible or near impossible. So I ended the game with 46 points, and thank you guys for listening.